Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy Fitzmark TV here, aka Gilo@33, and I'm back today with some NBA talk here for you. Today we are starting our season preview for the upcoming NBA 2017-2018 season. It's been a very, very interesting offseason. Lots of trades went on, and a lot of free agent signings. And through the series, I'm going to try at least every day to give you my predictions for each team in the league, and we'll preview what that team might potentially do. So to start off with today, I'm going to start off with my team, the Boston Celtics. But first, let's look back at what they did. They won 54 games last season. They won the East. Even though lots of people say, oh, the East is weaker than it's been in years past. Yeah, that's to say. But the Celtics are still I believe, one of the, maybe a top 5 team in this league, especially after the moves that they made in the offseason. Last year, if you said they were a top 5 team, even though they won the East, people would still probably put Cleveland over them. Golden State, obviously, San Antonio. Some people would probably put Houston above the Celtics. I'm talking about last year. This year, that's a little bit different. We all know what the Celtics did in the offseason. It was a very crazy offseason. They had the first pick in the NBA draft. And then they traded down to number 3, giving that pick to the Sixers, the division rival Sixers. And then a lot of people got angry over that. They got mad with Danny. It's like, oh, we fought so hard to get that pick, and now you're just going to trade it down. But they got Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum, what we've seen in the Summer League, him and Jaylen Brown, if those two develop over the next couple of years, those two are going to be legit studs. And it's going to be very hard for any team in the league to stop them. That's why I'm very excited to see how these two will develop. We've heard a lot of things that the Celtics could trade Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum for a big trade. They gained somebody like Anthony Davis. During the regular season, they could possibly still get Anthony Davis. Hopefully, I would love Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to stay on this team, but I'm not going to sit here and say I don't want Anthony Davis on the Celtics. Like, who wouldn't want one of the best bigs in the league, one of the top 10 players in our league on our team, especially with a roster already with Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Al Horford, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and all those other studs that we have on this team. Basically, it would be fair to say that the Celtics will probably win around 54 games again. Not saying that because they're the same team as last year. They're not. They're a better team than last year, in my opinion. And once they develop, they're going to be that much ferocious. The reason why I say they're going to win around 54, my prediction is about 58 games. I feel like they can go 58 and 22. So some people may think that's a little bit too high for them. I don't. I can see them winning 58 games because the East, it got weaker. Let's say that. With all the stars that are now on the West, like Brook Lopez, Jimmy Butler, Paul George, etc., the East didn't get that many top players in return. Gordon Hayward's probably the most notable name to come to the East from the West. So the Celtics, now that they're stronger, I expect them to dominate the East, especially with the Cavs. The Cavs, we don't know how long Isaiah Thomas is going to be out. And even though I'm still sad and maybe a little bit angry that Isaiah Thomas will no longer be here, I understand why the Celtics made the move, especially now that it seems like that hip injury is a bigger deal than what we thought it was. So it's probably good that we at least traded him and got something good for him while he's still able to play. Because Isaiah Thomas, he's on the verge of a contract season. And now that he's injured, whenever he is fully ready to come back, you know he's going to bust because he wants to get that money. He has a lot to prove. Even though he's proven so much, there's still so many doubters because of his height. He's not the best on defense because of his height, once again. Basically, a lot of people are saying, oh, Isaiah Thomas should not be paid max contract because his height. He's about to be 30, so he could start degrading anytime, just like LeBron. Alright, don't forget about that. LeBron's like 32, he's going to be 33 this year. he could start falling at any time now. One injury that could ruin the rest of LeBron's career. And I don't think LeBron will be able to hold that team on his back at the first seed for all that time. I really don't. While Isaiah Thomas is gone. That means Kevin Love's going to have to step up, J.R. Smith, Shannon Fry, all those boys in Cleveland. And they're still a pretty dang good team, even without 100% Isaiah Thomas. But I just don't think they're good enough to maintain the first seed in the East. So that's why I have the Celtics are going to win about 58 games if they stay healthy, and that they're going to be number one in the East. We know we got Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's very excited to be here. He wanted out of Cleveland. The reasons, though, some of those are unknown, because he wanted to be the number one option on his own team. He just didn't want to be LeBron's son anymore. The reason we saw, if you guys heard the interview with him on First Take, Kyrie Irving gave a lot of complicated and kind of like cryptic answers. Like, he answered the questions that Stephen A. and Max Kellerman asked him, but then he kind of like backtracked on it and tried to, work his way around it without giving a concrete answer. Like how Max asked him, Kyrie, so you're saying you didn't want to play LeBron anymore? All Kyrie just said, it's not about if I wanted to play all this. He gave some philosophical answer. It's kind of crazy. Go watch the interview if you haven't. But I'm very interested to see how good Kyrie Irving is going to be on this team, because he's entering his prime now. He's 25. I believe he's turning 26 during the season. He's in his prime the next 5 years. One thing that I can see Kyrie here staying here long term. And the thing about it is, Kyrie, his legacy is going to be built upon mostly what he does during his time here in Boston. Because a lot of people see him staying here long term. The reason why I say that is, Kyrie's the one who said, I wanted to have my own team. I believe I could win a championship, be the number one option. He already has a ring. He won it with Cleveland. But a lot of people put that on LeBron. They give LeBron a lot of the credit, even though some people say Kyrie Irving should have been the Finals MVP of that series. So, sometime in the next 5 years, and I know it's going to be difficult, especially with the beast of the West, especially if Golden State stays together for the next 4-5 years. Golden State could rule the NBA. They could have a legit dynasty. But in the next 5 years, I don't see LeBron staying in Cleveland. I feel like he's quietly packing up, getting ready to go to LA. And then that will leave the Celtics with basically no competition in the East. I don't see the Wizards competing with them. I don't think the Bucks are there yet. The Hornets, no. Miami, no. All those other teams, no. That's why once LeBron's out of the picture, the Celtics will rule the East for the next 4 or 5 years, as long as Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving stay, which I believe they will. Next, when will they bring us Banner 18? I believe that sometime in the next 5 years, the Celtics will win another championship. They will win another championship. It's all going to depend on if LeBron does go to LA and we get that Celtics-Lakers NBA Finals rivalry that everyone wants to see back, or if Golden State continues their dynasty. But this will show what Kyrie Irving's legacy is. So basically, that's my prediction. I have the Celtics winning about 58 games, have them be number one in the East. I have them going to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then from there, we'll see where that takes them. I'm not going to say they're going to the NBA Finals yet, but at least the hope is there. So that's about all I got for you guys today. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I'm out, guys. Peace.